China's foreign minister has issued Australia with a 4-point list of actions to get the relationship back on the right track. Let's go to our political analyst and professor at Curtin University for a Monday morning debrief here. I do love our debriefs, Joe Siracusa. Good morning to you. And this one now will pivot to China because China loves a list, don't they? Especially when they believe they're not at fault.
Good morning, Pete. Look, this is a big deal. The Chinese foreign minister had a couple meetings after the G20, one with Secretary of State Blinken that lasted 5 hours and talked about the road ahead, and this one with Foreign Minister Wong. And I think it's very interesting because what he's saying with these conditions is that you give up everything you've ever believed in and anything you want to do with the United States and come back down this road. And what they're going to try to do is sort of divide Australia from the United States. And of course, they're looking at the chessboard here, Pete. Two of the three authors of the AUKUS arrangement, which is a big deal and all aimed at China, they're gone. Boris Johnson is gone, and Scott Morrison is gone, and there's no doubt in my mind that Jumping Joe is gone. There's no way that Biden's going to win re-election. In fact, he's barely going to make it through his term. So what the Chinese are doing is they're looking at Australia, and they're figuring out here, well, maybe we can cut a new deal. And they blamed everything, of course, on the last prime minister. And what they're saying is, we'll buy more of your iron ore, your coking coal, and we'll send your students back if you pay attention here. So I think it's a pretty bold move, but it's also one that reflects the reality that in the real world, democratic leaders come and go. Authoritarian leaders stay on forever.
Yeah, and that's what authoritarian leaders, they regard democracy as a weakness, don't they? Because of that reason, you can't ever get anything done. But I mean, the third point there being, no, the second point rather, the two countries must seek common ground while shelving differences. So in your view, does that mean you forget about the origins of COVID, you forget about economic coercion, you forget about the militarization of the South China Sea, you forget about the isolation and the detention of the Uyghur people? I mean, there's a bit for us to turn our eyes away from, isn't there?
Well, yeah. What the Chinese, in essence, are saying, Pete, is that if you give up your value system and all the issues that have divided us over the years, we can go back to normal. Now, the trouble with the People's Republic of China is, and I've been studying them for 60 years here, is what's normal with these people? I can never figure out exactly what they want. In the 1960s and 70s, they had one game. This is a different game, of course. Now they're looking for world hegemony in terms of economics. And Australia is an important player, and in the sense that Australia is linked to everybody else, to Britain, America, and has close ties. So what they're telling Australia is, if you forget how we got here, maybe we can move forward. But at the same time, maybe they're going to play they're going to hit some chords in the Labour Party, which has never been terribly excited about the ANZUS Treaty. And I'm sure deep down in the party, this AUKUS thing looks really expensive and way down the road. So they might try to play on these things. But at the end of the day, the Chinese are saying that if you can forget who we are, we can move forward. The trouble is Australians don't forget too often.
No, that's right. Yeah, but the thing is, too, that China sees the US as a declining world power, right? And has been seeing this for quite a while now. So this is all part of its approach, right, to push back against the US.
Well, yeah, I mean, they see the United States as a declining power. Of course, the United States sees the Communist Party of China as an outfit you can easily get rid of. I mean, we got war parties in Congress, so the Chinese better not push it too far, as a matter of fact, because they are looking for conflict. But look, the Chinese are going to go after the weakest link here, and the weakest link to them looks like Australia, particularly as Australia is frustrating them in the South Pacific, and Australia will be hand in glove with the United States in terms of its interoperability everywhere else. So yes, the Chinese are asking Australians to forget who they are for a moment and come back to them. The trouble is that Australians are not particularly keen on being led by anybody. I mean, I once heard an expression in the 70s, Pete. Somebody was saying that Americans are always, and the Brits are always trying to buy Australia, and somebody said that you can't even rent one. They're so independent. So I don't think the Chinese are going to be very successful.
Okay. Joe Siracusa, good to see you. Talk to you again
Okay,
next
thank
week.
you.